to another Clouse's vacation video thing. I can't remember exactly how I was doing these intros, but hey, it's fine. We're in Strange Town, so I just did the 4 teens in Pleasant View, and I wanted to jump over to Strange Town. We're doing Ripp Grunt today. You can see I'm just kind of moving some things out of his room. It's kind of clear that this is his room. If you look in the house, like, we see a toy box in the other room that clearly belongs to Beau. The other room kind of is attached to a bathroom and close to the fitness area, so that's more clearly Tank's room, so this had to be Ripp's room by default since the other room downstairs had the computer. I left the walls and floors, they were consistent throughout, so it made sense. I also kept the bed the same frame. I do change the actual bedding, but I decided I was going to keep the same because they all had the same bed, so it made sense that maybe, the base furnished it to a certain extent. I do have to say this is the first room that I've done of these that really did not turn out as I expected or anticipated. Going into it, I thought it was going to be really neat and clean because I didn't, the idea that General was not going to tolerate, a very messy room out of any of his sons. He was going to be very particular, kind of makes it, he's not very nice to Ripp anyways, he just wasn't going to tolerate him having that kind of room. But as it progressed, my ideas of what his room should look like as well as how he would allow his room to look definitely did change. I kept some of the stuff outside just kind of as inspiration because I am trying to keep some of the original items just as a nod or okay, this is what they originally had. I want to at least take some inspiration from that. Obviously it was very limited, so some of those posters are the same posters we see in a lot of the different teens rooms, so I change out those. So, I don't think I used the exact posters in his particular room, but it's still, I just wanted to keep the feeling the same. I was actually inspired by that lamp though, that little light bulb lamp. It really got me thinking, well, maybe he's kind of into engineering. It makes sense in the neighborhood that they're in, especially with his dad being a general. He probably goes on base a lot and sees a lot of really cool kind of sciencey things waiting around for his dad to do whatever. So that was kind of an inspiration. He also just strikes me as kind of a bit of a new age kid. He's got the longer hair, kind of the hippie jeans. He definitely could be a bit of a hippie. Some of the aspects that I really like that I wrote down, not all that made it in, but there were some things that I really wanted. Just the general feel for him. Because I was just looking at his room, looking at his bio, just writing down word association, and then I kind of go on a download spree from there. It's like Converse, probably drugs of some kind. He's definitely kind of that sort. Maybe some fun coffee mugs, void critters, a sketchbook. It seems like maybe he would like to draw. He also seems like he's very nostalgic and would like records and VCRs and cassette tapes kind of things. Maybe he likes tarot cards. I downloaded a copy actually from Strange Tomato, The Ethical Slut. I actually just came across it randomly and I thought that was funny, but then I couldn't find it in my downloads folder, so it's not in his room, but I wrote that down. He seems like he would make mixtapes. He's very sweet, just in my mind. I definitely didn't want him to have a lot of crazy uneven posters though. I wanted him to be kind of, for the most part, framed or very neat, because like I said, with the general as the dad, he's going to be very particular about how things are, and even though the room is not as neat and tidy as I originally intended, I still wanted some of those aspects of things the general would and would not tolerate. Yeah, so I'm just kind of going through, grabbing some things. Yes, I have that Johnny calendar. Ripp would have it. It would be so funny to him, and he would 100% have it. A lot of the furniture that I pick for his room, too, is kind of generic, because like I said, maybe the base furnishes these houses, but also just, I don't foresee the general being really oh, let's go decorate your room, for all of the boys, not just Ripp, but especially probably Ripp in particular. If there was a moment where they needed to go get something, Ripp would probably prefer to go to the dumpster and find something rather than ask his dad. I don't think that the general is very nice to him in particular, but Ripp's also kind of proud and doesn't like his dad, so he just would refuse to ask him. one of kind of the sadder things that I wanted to download was like a first aid kit, just like, I don't think he's like physically abused, but like they are made to like run through that obstacle course thing, and things happen. I think he is probably a little bit bullied though, which is sad, but yeah. Yeah, I really do lean into the science thing, because I mean, if you can't do it in Strange Town, where are you going to do it? I don't necessarily know how the general feels about it. I don't think like he hates science in particular, like he doesn't care for aliens. And my forever headcanon is because he lost in a barbershop quartet, like sing-off with PT Polynesian Technician number 9. I can never say that. Like, number 9. He lost, and he's never gotten over it. Like, that is the funniest thing to me. I will never let it go. It doesn't have to be true. It's funny. But, going back to just kind of... Sorry I'm fidgety today. I keep touching stuff on my desk. That was my little... I have, like, a dice container. I keep opening it and touching it, but I need to stop. Yeah, back to Ripp. I wanted to use, like, all the little Parenthood, like, school projects, the really nice ones. Because I do think that he does well on things like that. I think that he's bad at, like, homework, because he doesn't have the type of home life that's really conducive to completing homework. But when it comes to projects and things that he's really interested in, because that's another thing too, is he reminds me a little bit of me in that aspect, where like if I was not interested in a homework assignment, I would rather chew on rocks than do it. And so I think in that way, like, it's really hard for him to do homework unless he's really interested in what he's learning about. Another thing that I kind of got the vibe of, and kind of in terms of character development and building for him, was he definitely redirects and misdirects a lot. So like he has that guitar and he has an amp and he'll have like the foot pedals, but I don't think he's actually really all that into music. I think it's something that the general sees, and like if he's going to punish Ripp, that's something that he'll take away instead of something that Ripp actually cares about, like his sketchbooks or his actual like textbooks or things like that. Like, it's his way to kind of control a chaotic home environment and to manipulate a little bit what happens to him and to protect himself, which does happen a lot in chaotic households. Like, that's what you do. You're like, alright, well, how am I going to control this? Let's see. Some of the other things that I was kind of saying, I think I just skipped over them, but like I mentioned the Converse. I downloaded a pair of Converse. I'm sure that I just skipped over them. I also downloaded condoms. I couldn't find those, but they made me laugh, and if anybody in the game had them, definitely would be Ripp. I do end up putting... I mean, you're going to see it in a bit, but I put some things that probably are going to seem unusual in his room, but I'll wait till they're actually there. I thought I made this go a little bit faster, but I didn't. I love that body pillow, by the way. I was so excited by it. I'm like, yes, this belongs in his room. If it belongs in anyone's room, it belongs in his room. Yeah, this is me just trying to find things that I downloaded. It gets harder and harder with each room that I do, because I'm like downloading things. I'm actually filming these out of order though, because I was supposed to do Dirk Dreamer, but I forgot. For some reason I thought I had already done him, so I have to go back and do his. But I remembered I had not done his because I was looking for something and then I couldn't find it, and then I got sidetracked by Ripp and wanting to create his room. So I'm gonna have to go back to Pleasant View and do that last room. So, spoiler alert, he's the last Pleasant View kid, but yeah. I'm honestly really excited by this project. Like, again, I can't say this enough, I have no intention of like fully renovating the whole of the oeuvre. No way, no how. But it's nice to just revisit like these old characters that we've seen for over a decade now, and just kind of modernize them, but also just like see them through a fresh set of eyes. Like, what is actually there? It's been so long since I've actually like looked at their profiles and looked at their rooms and looked at their relationships and been like, well, what's actually here? What can I work with? What kind of character can I build out of the basics that we were given? And like I said, that little light bulb lamp really inspired quite a bit of this, just all from that little lamp. And then Lilith, just having, you know, she had a couple posters with, I'm going to say Asian-inspired characters, because, well, take Misu, inspired characters, let's go with that. And it made me, you know, think, well, maybe she's really interested in her mom's heritage, that kind of thing, and like really go off from there. It's been fun, it's been interesting. I'm curious to see the next couple characters that I've picked, where they end up, because I try not to do these too far ahead of time, like, I pick the next sim, and then I pick what I'm going to download for them, and then I do the recording, and then I pick the next download, so I'm not, A, downloading a ton of stuff at once, because then I'm going to forget what I downloaded for who, but B, just because it gives me a little room to think, but not too much room, so I'm not thinking about 8 different characters at once, because I will do that. Like, technically I was supposed to be doing Dirk, but then I got sidetracked and started thinking about Ripp. So I haven't actually decided who I'm going to do next in Strange Town. Obviously there's a limited number of teens, and I chose teens before the high school pack was announced, but it's kind of perfect now. It's going to be out by the time these videos are coming. I can't remember when it's coming out. I don't know how I feel about it. Like werewolves, I'm still pretty pro werewolf. I'm like, I really want to buy it. I haven't yet, but the teen high school thing, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to see how that goes. We'll see, and maybe it'll turn out great, maybe it won't. I don't really know. It's hard to say. Because sometimes, like, especially after my wedding stories, like, it just seems like Sims 4, they just don't necessarily care. But, like, then the werewolves pack, for the most part, were there a few hitches in their giddy up? Yeah, but not nearly as many as there were for some of the other ones. Like, it was just a few tiny things that were, in my opinion, fairly acceptable compared to what they were doing. So it's like, why can't this be your level of acceptability, you know? Especially with how much they added, there's just so much there. They really took the time. So yeah, I'm doing teen rooms when they're gonna release a teen pack. I will say I am gonna do the Veronaville teens as well. I'm only doing the 3 packs because I'm not gonna be gone that long, so it's not like I'm doing a million videos while I'm gone. I thought about doing a whole bunch, but then I'm like, I have to pre-record all these, that's a lot. I also have to do my regular videos. I also have to, like, get ready to move and live my normal life as well, so I decided to just do my normal-ish schedule that I'm still not officially committed to, but unofficially I do. I'm, like, scared if I say it and, like, officially commit to it, then for some reason I'm gonna mess up and stop posting on those days, so I just don't. It would be nice if you could, like, I know after a certain point you can post on YouTube and have a community and everything, but, like, it's annoying that you have to have so many followers or subscribers first. I just feel like that should be open, because I feel like you would get a follower count a lot sooner when people would know. Like, I don't really care, but it's just, like, it's kind of frustrating. It's like, well, I can't tell people when I'm gonna post. It's like they never know what to expect. It's annoying. But that's my minor gripe with YouTube. I wanted to give him a little desk pride flag, but I decided not to because I don't feel like the general would let him have that. I don't think Ripp is straight. I don't necessarily think he's, like, gay. I don't think he's in particular anything. I don't think he would be one of those people that says I don't like labels, but, like, genuinely he doesn't know. He doesn't really care. He just likes people. I remember I did a playthrough where he basically slept with the entire neighborhood and it was funny. But anyways, we're about ready to do the room tour. I didn't really show you guys decorating because honestly, it took me like 3 hours to get something that I was happy with. So, why is there a delay? Hold on. Okay, sorry, there was a delay on my screen. I wasn't seeing what I was recording. This is really tight, but I wanted to kind of like walk through the room and show you what I did so you could see firsthand what the room looks like. And then I'll do walls down so you can actually really see what it looks like because it was hard to see. So you can see you walk in the front door, there's kind of a fan, there's a bookshelf, there's lots of little sciencey things everywhere, there's kind of a worn out chair. In his closet I have some like hidden VHS tapes, I imagine. He used to watch them with his mom and he kind of hid them away behind some boxes so that his dad wouldn't throw them away. I also gave him a little squirt gun, again, like imagining it's a childish thing. Grunt or Buzz would make him throw it away if he found it, but maybe it was from his mom and he doesn't want to. So he's got some posters here. He's got the first aid kit, like I mentioned. On the shelves, we've got some like little robots that he's built, some incense, some records, all the little parenthood like school projects. The guitar is like in a prominent place on the wall, but like I said, I don't think he's like super duper into it. It's just kind of there. I wanted to show you, he has like a little secret stash under the bed. There is some drug paraphernalia there, his actual diary, and also like his go bag, like if anything happens to like go south, he's got that under the bed. The Johnny calendars right next to basically his pillow. He's got those little Rubik's Cube speakers. We've got some kind of planet posters hanging up. Overall, I'm really happy with this room. It wasn't what I expected, but I like how it turned out. I like the telescope under his bed, like the way that things that are important to him are out, but like it looks like he doesn't care about them so that they don't get taken away from him. I really do like that, and it makes me happy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments below if you think I did a good job, and I will see you in the next one.